Live, and we are waiting for our host to join us. His name is Mr. Chow Hui, and he is the State Assemblyman for Tras. And what we are going to be talking about today is an issue that is going on in Malaysia that is going to affect everyone who loves Musang King Durian. So wherever you are in the world, if you've been buying Musang King Durian at your local shops, this is an issue that's going to affect the prices, the availability, and if you're a conscious consumer, you probably should get to know a little bit of the background story here. Musang King is the primary export durian of Malaysia. It is the most popular variety, famous for its bright yellow flesh, kind of dryish texture, and sweet, slightly chocolatey flavor. And it is the primary durian. If you go to Singapore, you will find lots and lots of it being sold there, as well as Hong Kong, China, and it even started showing up in America in larger quantities over the summer. So we're going to be talking with him for about 20 minutes, and we'll be taking all kinds of questions afterwards. So if you have questions that are coming up to you while you're talking, make sure just to leave a comment. I'll scroll back through later. And I think we're going to try turning the screen this way so it can be horizontal. So if you're ready, I'm going to turn my phone. Ready? Here we go. Okay, we're horizontal. All right, so this is kind of a big event going on in all the newspapers. I keep reading about it throughout the whole summer.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah. So if you wouldn't mind, just give us a little background about what is happening in Malaysia. Why is this a big deal? And what are the newspapers saying that maybe our followers in other parts of the world have missed?
Yes. Yeah. For this Musang King crisis, we have to know that the background first, because the Pahang state government actually awarded or leased the land of the durian farm. Actually is about 5,357 acres to a Royal Pahang Durian Group, a company named Royal Pahang Durian Group, which linked with the royal family in Malaysia, so that they try to announce and launch the details of a land legalization scheme, which the farmers think that the scheme actually is an unequal contract to them, so that the scheme is intended to take over the farmers' land, but require them to farm the crops that they have cultivated and pay them a sum of money by fixing the price and imposing a sole buyer from the farmers. So all the durians must sell to the company, which causing the monopoly in Musang King durian market. So this is what the main point, and they're also fixing the price, and they're also asking all of the farmers need to pay the land levy 6,000 per acre ringgit Malaysia this year, for this year only. So started from next year, started from 2021, all the farmers also need to pay the land levy. So that the company saying that they give 30 ringgit for each kg of Musang King grade A. But actually they spoke in the media, they said they pay them 40 ringgit per kg. 10 ringgit is for the land levy. So can you imagine that? Yes, can you imagine that if every acre, if the farmers can cultivate it for 2 tons, 2,000 kg, they need to pay each kg 10 ringgit land levy. It means that each acre they need to pay 10,000, not 10,000, it's 20,000 ringgit levy to the company. Yes. So they feel that this is totally...
Like nobody here, I think, knows what the average lease is. Because I know a lot of farmers in Malaysia do lease their land, their durian farms. What is the average lease per season on a farm in Malaysia?
You mean the cost of?
Yeah, what is an average person who is leasing their land, a durian farmer? What do they pay? Because you're saying it's 10,000 ringgits per year.
Yeah, 10,000 ringgit per year is for the levy, for the land levy only. And this is all for the unlicensed and no title durian farm. Okay, we need to understand that actually 70% of the production of Musang King came from this land. They are illegally in terms of the word illegally, okay? Because they already apply for so many years for the land title or permit, but they never get it for the past so many years. This is a land policy, I think that, which is wrong policy, which implemented by the Pahang state government for so many years. Actually, they have encouraged them to plant it since 70s and 80s. This is a historical factor because we know that during the era of the second of our Prime Minister, Tun Razak, they have already, they encourage the farmers to plant in their land behind their village. So after so many years, they have planted, they cultivated, they have planted so many from rice to cocoa, from cocoa to oil palm. After that, they changed to durian. Okay, so after that, they planted D24 first, but the price is not so pretty well. Then they changed to Musang King. So after so many years of hard working, they have already created a Musang Kingdom in this area, the Rock district. But actually, many of them planted in a land without title or permit. This is what is the background. Everyone's,
So when you're saying that they planted on land that wasn't theirs, they didn't have a title for it, who owns that land where they are right now?
Pahang state government.
Okay.
Pahang state government own the land. Yes. So that we can, yeah.
What is that land intended for? Like, does it have an established purpose? The Pahang state government.
Many of the land is actually forest reserve land and also the state government land. Yeah.
Okay. So it's meant to be forest, basically. It's meant to be reserved for forestry.
Yes, some of the land, yes, correct. Okay, so
zoned,
yeah,
or how is there like zoning on the land? Like some of it's meant to be for like public land for agricultural use, and some of it's meant to be forestry, or how did they break it up? Like how do you know what the land was meant to be for?
Yeah, the land actually is that the government encouraged them to use the land to plant the cocoa, the rice in 70s, because to let them to self-sufficient, yeah, in the 70s. So after that, they will change to durian from D24 to Musang King. So until now. So the main problem for now is the Pahang state government, they formed a joint venture with a private company. Then they want to take over the land, but they ask the farmers to continue to work there because they know that the farmers' experience is the main factor to create the Musang Kingdom. Right. So that they think that they need the farmers, but they offer an unequal contract to them, so that the protests happen.
Okay, I can see why that would make people feel pretty upset if they were being encouraged to farm on this land back in the 70s.
Yes.
I saw something called the Green Book Program. Could you tell us what the Green Book Program was?
Yes, the Green Book Program during the 1970s is launched by our second Prime Minister, Tun Razak. Yeah, they actually, at the time, the government actually encouraged all the farmers to cultivate empty land. Actually, the empty land is just behind their village in Sungai Ruan. Have you been there too?
Yeah.
Sungai Ruan, Sungai Chow, Tras, yeah, to increase the food supply and to be self-sufficient at the time. And there were no other economic activities in the village. So what the farmers can do, they just want to use the land to plant the cocoa, to plant the rice, to self-sufficient. Yeah. After that, they found that durian is one of the plant can be developed. Then they try to plant and cultivate the durian. But at the beginning, they're not planting Musang King at the first. Yeah, they plant D34. You know that D24, Kampung Durian, then until Musang King. Yeah.
Right. Okay. This is a very special area that we're talking about, guys. They call it the Musang King. It's where, like you said, 70% that a Musang King is grown, right? In
Yeah.
that very small little triangle around the route.
Yes. Sorry.
So,
Okay.
how old are these farms that we're talking about? Because you said that starting in like the 1970s, people began cultivating the land behind their village.
Yeah.
With transform it to durian. So, how old are the trees that we're talking about that are under debate?
The oldest tree in Sungai Ruan and Sungai Klau actually, I think 40 years, 30 to 40 years.
Okay.
So 30 to 40 years, yeah, for the durian trees. So so you can feel I know you also understand that the Musang King, the most premium durian, actually is coming from raw. Yeah, yeah. According to the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Industry, MAFI, Marketing and Export Division, actually, Pahang contribute 90k tons durian from whole Malaysia, 90k tons, and secondly is coming from Johor, but most of the Musang King coming from raw. Yeah, most of the Musang King coming from raw. Yes.
So, how long has it been since that land was, virgin forest or prime forest? Because I think a lot of people have some upset about farmers going in and like cutting down, deforesting to plant their trees. That's something that gets talked about. But how many generations do you think it has been since that land behind the village was actually like, rainforest or what might be romanticized as virgin forest?
Yeah, actually, okay. Actually, there have already 3 generations there. So then, I think that actually the farmers, they are also concerned about the environmental conservation, especially the forest. But we have to understand that this issue is not because of the environmental conservation issue, because what the land leased by Pahang state government to Royal Pahang Durian actually is included the land of the reserve land, the reserve forest. So what are they arguing is, if you can lease the land to the Royal Pahang Durian, why not you lease the land to the farmers? Which actually they have already applied for so many years for the land permit and land title, but they didn't get the approval. They just keep rejected by the state authorities.
Does that mean that reserved land that's now currently just forested, that's been turned over to the new company, is that now going to be converted to Musang Farm as well?
Yes, some of the reserve forest, reserve land, actually for Pahang state government, they all want to lease for durian farm, but they are not going to lease to the farmers. They are going to lease to the big company named Royal Pahang Durian. So it means that actually the land can be switched from forest land to durian farm, but they just don't want to lease the land or award the land to the farmers who already cultivated there for 3 generations.
Wow.
They want to give the land durian farm to the big company named Royal Pahang Durian. Yes.
But just to clarify, so this means that land that currently is not being farmed would also be converted to farms under the new scheme?
Yes, they want to convert the farm to convert the land to the durian farm, because I think that Pahang state government until now only realized how is the economic impact bring by the Musang King. Yeah, because actually Pahang state government always recognize raw district as a, in Malay we call Banda Musang King. It means that Musang King town. They already recognize this, but they also understood that how the economic impact bringing by Musang King, so that they already understand this. So they want to make some development. They want to bring some huge economic profit, so that they just but they use the way which is unequal to the farmers, because they lease the land to the Royal Pahang Durian only. Actually, they should lease the land to the farmers. Let them to bring a new development to the Musang King kingdom, Musang King industry.
So,
Yeah.
we talk about small farmers, right? Because I think a lot of people have this idea when you start talking about like monocultures or something like Musang King, which is an export quality durian. How big are these farms that we're talking about for individual farmer?
You mean small farmers?
Right. How big? Like how big is their land holding? Is it 100 acres? Is it 1,000 acres? These little farmers have, or is it less?
I think if for 5,000 acre, it move, I think around 1,000 of farmers there. 1,000 of farmers. 1,000 of farmers, yes.
Most farmers have around 5 acres. Is that right? Or 5?
Most farmers 5 to 10 acres for the small farmers lah. Yeah, for the small farmers. For the small farmers.
Right. And how does that affect things in terms of biodiversity or monoculture? Having a bunch of small farms versus having one very big farm. What is the difference? Do you have any opinions on that?
You mean that the big farmers, the difference between the big farmers and small farmers in their land?
Right, in terms of like maybe environmental impact or in terms of like how the farm would be managed, the healthiness of the land and things like that. Does it matter if a bunch of small farmers who have 5 acres or if it's one large farm, 1,000 acres that's being by a single company?
Yeah.
Is there opinions on that?
I think actually the farmers actually they already propose a new proposal to the state government that they also want to concern the environmental issue. They are prepared to work with the state government to formulate a plan for managing the durian farms to preserve the environment and actually and especially the water catchment area there. Their proposal actually is stated as follows. They want to pay each acre for 100 ringgit every year for the below 10 acres land. For above 10 acres to 100 acres, their proposed environmental protection levy is 200 per acre. So I think that this is a new policy. If the Pahang state government really want to work with the farmers, I think the proposed environmental levy actually can help to secure the environment and water catchment area in the area in the land of the durian like this.
I just want to share something based on our experience, which is that we often see that farmers do end up having a more diverse land when it's a smaller plot because they use other species of trees to border their property so that they can tell the difference between their property and other people's property. So that would be something that we see frequently when we're visiting farms. I don't know if you've noticed that at all. But anyway, so how does this happen with, we have this new player, you're calling it Royal Pahang Durian Resource. Who are they? Have they been in business and how did they get involved?
Who are they? Okay, actually they are a group of businessmen which reported linked with the Pahang royal family. Then they are also trying to develop their durian industry. They actually bought a 1,000 acre land in Tras area, also near to the Rock Street, to plant durian. Mm-hmm. But suddenly, on June of this year, they suddenly they signed a contract with Pahang state government saying that they already get a lease or awarded the land to legalize all the illegal durian farm. So so who are they? They are a group of businessmen. Actually, I think it's inexperienced durian farmers. They have no planted any one of durian before this durian tree.
Something about them being involved in the Musang King investment funds where you could buy a tree, like if you lived overseas, you could buy a durian tree and get that as an investment, like some percentage back on your tree. I don't know if you...
Sorry, can you pardon, sorry? I can't hear you.
Have you heard of the investment schemes? That used to be these, and maybe there still are, for a while you could buy the part of the king farm as investment, even if you lived overseas or in other parts of Malaysia. And I heard that this company was involved in one of those investment schemes. Is that true?
Yes, because they will set up the biggest factory, the biggest durian factory in Tras area. So what is their main motive to come into this so-called durian legalization scheme? Actually, they just want to get all the durians, all the Musang King, and export to China.
Okay.
This is what their main motive, yeah. Because
their own export facility, basically.
yes.
And they would be having an monopoly over all lands that otherwise would be selling their durians to many small export facilities. Is that true?
Yes, because you have to understand this. They set up the factory. His main motive is want to export all the durians to China. Okay, so what their offer in their contract is they want all the durians from the farmers from the so-called illegal land. We already calculated. Actually, if 5,000 acre can produce about 5,000 tons of Musang King. So they want the volume. They want the durian and export to China. So they set up a factory. Yeah.
There's a lot of other smaller exporters in the Raub area right now. Like
they all will die if they get all the durians to the Royal Pahang Durian to the Royal Pahang Durian Group, because this will cause the monopoly. The small settlers or the small farmers and the small factory in Raub all will be die because they have no more durian. Even though that the durian is coming from their farm, they also need to supply to the Royal Pahang Durian Group.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
In terms of the contract
there won't be
so
any Basically, there won't be any more durian available for any other small export company to buy to ship out. There'll only be one company in that area.
Yeah, you can imagine if all the durians need to be sold to the Royal Pahang Durian Group, no more durian in the market. Because Royal Pahang Durian Group will monopoly all.
That's bad news for us Westerners, because already they just China.
Yeah, this is really bad news. Yes.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of reports this summer about Musang King in America that now people are very excited.
Really?
I love it when you guys send me pictures of your durians in America or Australia or wherever you're eating them. So please keep it fun.
Thanks for introducing Musang King in US.
Yeah.
Is it very popular among the US? Amongst the US people, they are started to love the taste of Musang King.
Definitely, because Musang King, it handles freezing so much better than the Thai durians, right? It's much quality when it's frozen. So I will definitely always suggest you try that. If you tried the Thai durian in America and you didn't like it, try Musang King.
Yeah, glad to hear about it. Okay.
So I don't quite understand how the Pahang government, or who it is in the Pahang government who can lease land for farming. Like, how did they make that change? Because I think in the U.S. it'd be very complicated to change state land to private land, or just leased private land. I'm not really involved in politics or anything, but I think that would be very difficult. So how did it work in Malaysia?
I think this is mismanagement in the land policy. They have no one clear policy on how to develop an agriculture or how to develop a durian industry for so many years. So they just actually follow the market trend and they see that Musang King price is actually can bring huge profit. Then they just try to lease the land to the big company, so they think that they can bring some profit to the state government. But actually, this is a very wrongdoing land policy. Actually, Pahang got big land. Pahang is the biggest state in Malaya Peninsula. Actually, if the state government they have a very clear policy on durian on farming, they can try to arrange maybe few thousand acre or a few thousand hectare for the durian farming to develop the durian industry. Yeah, they have the land, but actually all the land mismanaged and misused. But it doesn't mean that we don't want.
Is this affecting all the farmers in Pahang or just the ones in the Rao Trust area?
All the farmers in Pahang, but the main production for Musang King and Durian is coming from Rao. If we can see 90k tons from Pahang, from the Durian, Pahang can produce 90k tons every year, 70k tons coming from Rao. So it's nearly 80% something, yeah.
So, I mean, so this is a problem throughout the entire state for all durian farmers. It's just that this is mostly going to affect the export business in terms of, of the smaller area.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So I still don't understand who has the right to license state land to a corporation or how that works. Because I feel like in the U.S. certain things are like owned and you don't change the zoning whenever you feel like it. But maybe that's how it works in Malaysia.
Yeah, you mean the farmers, sorry?
Yeah, well, I don't understand how, you know, if you have zoning for state government land that's like a forestry land, how do they just change the use of that land, you know, and say, okay, now to a company? Because I'm not sure that would happen with us. I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong. But I feel like there would be like some legislation involved. It'd probably be kind of slow with bureaucracy, something like that. Where it seems like this just sort of like
they can convert anytime. Yeah, actually the land, the state government has the absolute right to convert any land to any usage. Like they can change the agricultural land to industry land. They can change some reserve forest land to farming land. It should be no problem. But sure, we also I mean that we also need to protect the environment. This is also very important. But the main issue is now they actually acknowledge the land is suitable for the durian farming, but they just lease to the big company. They don't want to lease to the farmers. Yeah.
Okay, so it was a choice. They chose to lease it to a big company instead of leasing it to the individual small farmers.
Yes.
And is there any like what are you guys doing right now? Are there any organizations that are there to protect the rights of farmers, or is there like a mandate from the government that's supposed to protect, you know, certain people? What is
no, actually, okay, I am state representative for this route district. Of course, I am opposition now in the state lah. So I joined the farmers and try to lead the movement that we protest the legalization scheme lah. So what the farmers stand is very clear. They want to work with state government and not private company. They want to pay the tax, pay the levy for so many years, but their application were also always rejected. So they actually now they are forming a cooperative to try to work with the state government and to pay levy to the state government. The levy including the land levy and also environment levy. This is what they proposed to the state government. Yeah.
And now it's in the courts, and where is it at now? You know, how soon is it going to have some kind of on how this is going to turn out? So this
can you repeat, sorry?
The Malaysian court system, right? Has this gone to the court?
You mean the case already bring to the court?
Right. I've seen some stuff about how the what's it called, the Malaysian. Sorry, I'm blanking on the word of it. But I've seen that it's gone to the judicial court. They've been given some time period to kind of figure things out.
They have. They have the farmers. Hundreds of farmers actually have filed a judicial review application in the High Court of Kuantan on 21st of August, and the farmers successfully get the court order on 28th of August to stay all the proceedings and a notice issued by the Land Office and Pahang State Government to stop the action until the next hearing date lah. Because before that, the Land Office and Pahang State Government try to stop the farmers go inside their farm to collect the durians, to force them to sign the unequal contract with the company.
Okay, but they don't have to, like, according to the policy, they wouldn't need to vacate their land until 2021, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there'd be no reason why they'd be able to enter the farm right now.
They try to force the farmers to sign the unequal contract so that the Royal Pahang Durian can start to collect a 6,000 ringgit per acre levy started from this year. Only for this year. They said one-off payment for this year. You can free market, you can free to sell your durian for this year until May of 2021, but you need to pay 6,000 ringgit per acre for the levy.
Richard has a question here.
So what would be rent?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. What would be fair rent pay for the land?
Sorry, what will?
He's talking about this like a levy, Richard. So it's
Land levy, yeah.
It's like a one-time payment.
One-time payment for this year. You can sell your durian to any shop, any durian farm, any factory, but you need to pay 6,000 ringgit per acre this year.
But next
so you
year.
need started from next year, you no need to pay this levy one-off payment, but you need to pay each kg 10 ringgit levy. Each kg 10 ringgit. So if you can produce 2,000 kg Musang King in your durian farm per acre, you need to pay 20k ringgit of levy.
But then you cap at 30 to sell the durian, so basically you're selling it for 20.
Right. So basically, so they take a 10%, or they take 10
take 30%.
Right. So they take a 30% commission, and they also cap how much you can sell it for.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. Yeah. And they have already fixed the price for the Musang King. They just fixed. I just can pay you 30 ringgit per kg. Musang King grade A.
In wholesale, you know that the market price does fluctuate over 30 kg pretty regularly.
Yeah.
Right.
So the farmers are unhappy of it.
Right, and I've actually heard that some farmers are cutting down their trees as protest. How many farmers have done that?
I think four or five farmers only lah. We stop there lah. We stop them for doing this lah, because this is what they have worked for so many years, and for 3 generations they shouldn't do this lah. But this is a kind of protest lah. It's a kind of protest.
Yeah, for sure. But if anybody knows, like a Musang King, it takes 15-20 years before it tastes really good. So it means you're just getting rid of 20 years worth of deliciousness.
20 years, yeah. The raw Musang King tree actually aged 20 to 30 years. I think for 2 or 3 generations already here. Yeah.
So most of the really good durian right here is what we're talking about. What is under conflict. So you guys have an alliance. It's called the Musang King Alliance, right? SAMCA.
Yeah, SAMCA. Yeah.
Where can people find more information if they want to know more about the situation, or want to find out more about your organization, or is it best place to them?
Maybe you can go and follow the Facebook of the Safe Musang King Alliance officer page. Yeah, they have many officer news to update, but in multiple language, in Chinese, in Bahasa Malaysia, and also English. Yeah, we try to make it to more language and let more people to know what happened in Chow and Malaysia for the Musang King industry.
So you're saying the one Facebook page has 3 languages in it?
Yeah. English, Malay, English, and Chinese. Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate that. Well, let's see if anybody has any questions here. I've been kind of watching the comments. So if you guys have questions for Mr. Chow right now, please go ahead and ask your question.
I actually have a question.
You have a question?
Because it comes up a lot. Is there any ethnicity thing going on in this thing? Like we're getting our deal. There's Chinese cars and.
Sorry, I can't hear you clearly. Sorry, I can't hear you.
So we're getting our feed that this is conflict between Chinese and Malay.
Between the Chinese?
Chinese and Malay. Yeah, so something.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I need to clarify that actually.
These are two ethnic groups. Is there anything about, like, again, somebody in our comment feed compared this to white and black people in America and how conflict. Is there anything similar going on in Malaysia in terms of, I feel like this is a hot issue.
Most of the farmers in this area comprise of Chinese. Yeah, Chinese.
Right.
80% Chinese. But it also got Malays, about 20% of Malay. They're also durian farmers. So some of the racist group try to play up this issue, saying that Chinese try to grab the land, but they were being punished by the state government. Some racist group play up this issue, but we also, we already try to clarify that this is not a racial issue. Shouldn't play up with the racial sentiment. Yeah, because we have 20% Malay farmers inside there. We have 20% Malay farmers inside there. Then this is just an equal land policy issue, not a racial issue. Yeah. This is what we try to speak out the truth in the media.
Yeah, we're happy to clarify that it's not a racial issue. It is just a land rights issue.
Yeah.
All right.
Land policy issue,
So here I have a question. Someone says, has Royal Pahang revealed how they are planning to control the export price value? And China, the only market they are going to be exporting, or they're not going to be Musang King anymore. So China?
How they are planning on controlling the export price value? Yes, they try to fix they try to fix the price, 30 ringgit per kg, and you see that if he can control all the production of the Musang King, then they can control the price easily, right? They can monopoly, then they can fix the price easily because they have 70% Musang King in their hand. So they will fix the price, and they will negotiate with China how they export the price. They will decide everything. So this is what we protest for. And their main market is for China, because we have surveyed. Actually, they have already registered their trademark logo in China. So what they are aiming for is all totally China market.
She wants to know if the 30 ringgit per kilo is to the farmers and not to China. So yes,
it's to the farmers. It's to the farmers. So it's to the farmers. So they buy 30 ringgit per kg from the farmers, and they sell. They want to sell any price they want to the China. We cannot know. We can't know. They just get the 30 ringgit per kg from the farmers. Hello, are you there, Vincent? I can't hear you.
Uh-oh, my internet is... I can still see you.
Hello, yeah. Can you hear me? Okay, next question.
I got frozen at an awesome angle for a minute. That's funny. All right, we got a question from Peter Kring, who is in Costa Rica, and he says, do squatters have no rights? Where I live, I grow in Costa Rica, someone who has worked the land on it for so long from. So are there any policies around like how many years you squatting on your land to make it yours?
You mean that in Costa Rica, someone was honestly could not be removed.
It sounds like there's some kind of a law about how many years you've been on your property or how many years you've been illegally living there before it becomes yours. It can't be removed easily.
It should. It should. I think the land should be awarded to the farmers after they have grown there and planted there for so many years and few generations. Yeah. So this is what I stress for that. We have the state government no one clear land policy for the farmers. So they actually today, if they are not planting Musang King, they're just planting tomato. Do you think the state government will come in? No. It's just all because of the price and the economy impact.
Someone wants to know. Yes. This person says, you mentioned that farmers have to sell durians at 30 ringgits per kilogram to the company, and on top of that, they have to also 10 ringgits per kilogram levy per acre. Is that correct, or is it either or? And you're saying it's both. It's going to be capped at no more than 30 ringgits per kilogram, and of that 30 ringgits per kilogram, they're going to have to pay 10 ringgits per acre as a levy.
Royal Pahang Durian saying that they give 40 ringgit per kg to the farmers, but 10 ringgit from the 40 ringgit, the company will take out and pay the levy on behalf of the farmers. So what the farmers get actually is just 30 ringgit per kg.
Okay.
All right.
So that's what they walk away with, 30 ringgits.
Yes.
Which is low.
Yeah, very low.
Yeah.
Which is very low. Yeah.
Well, do you have anything that you would like to say to people? We've had a really good crowd here today.
Any question?
Yeah.
Any other question? I think the farmers actually stress that they want an equal partners. If in terms of any legalization scheme, they want the two parties must be based on the equal partnership and not on the relationship between an employer and employee. Yeah, because there's farming for so many years there. Any terms of the agreement must be formulated and signed with the consent of both parties. This is the most important thing they want. Okay, and another thing is free market. Free market.
Right.
Yeah. You cannot force all the farmers sell the durians to you.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that's a question I have a question about antitrust laws. This sounds sort of like a monopoly, right? Are there in Malaysia about monopolies or things like that? Because the U.S., I think there's big lawsuits going on in the U.S. now about antitrust laws. I mean, this sounds like it would be creating a monopoly. So, Malaysia about that.
Yeah. Because if all the durians sold to the Royal Pahang Durian company, they can control everything, including the price. Right. This is what the farmers protested.
Right, and as mentioned,
the monopoly.
Export out of business. So one export company and one basically one company.
If you queue all the factories in route, we have 50 factories, durian factories for export in route. If you queue all the factory in route, because they have no durian coming in after their monopoly. Yeah.
This would be considered a monopoly.
Yeah.
Are there any monopolies in Malaysia?
Not only factory, actually some of the durian dealers, durian stores, and you have been to route, you can see at the roadside, many durian
Wholesalers.
Yeah, seller stores, all actually they will facing job losses. No more durian coming in because all the durian need to sell to the Royal Pahang Durian Company, and they can get the durian at export only.
Well, one thing that I heard is that it would just mean that all of these smaller factories have to move to the state. You know, like they do grow some Musang King and like Kedah. You know, would this end up being the death of the industry in Pahang?
Yeah, some may think that maybe they will be moving to the another state to restart again the Musang King industry, but it is not easy because you know that if you plant a durian tree, you need how many years to
Yeah.
to harvest? Yeah, how many years? 8 to 10 years. Yeah, 8 to 10 years is you just can get some durian fruit only. If you want a very best, very premium durian, actually you need 20 years.
Right.
The age of the tree.
Still fruit after like 5 or 6, but at least 15.
Yes, there are so many durian farm in other states now. In Kelantan, in Kedah, in Johor, they are trying to develop the Musang King industry. Yes, indeed this is, but you have to know that the rock actually is the rock farmers most experienced, and they have already planted so many years. The tree already very grown, very big. This is their asset. This is their asset. You can't compare with the new Musang King farm. It's different thing. As you know, you tried grow Musang King before, right? Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you very much for taking the time this morning to chat with us. I really appreciate it. It was very educational. I feel like I learned a lot about Malaysia, about durian farming there. We've been following it on the news, and it's been a little bit confusing what the newspapers say and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and we will post this on Instagram after we chat. Also put it on Facebook, and everyone should go check out Samka. Save Malaysia, save Musang King.
Yeah, same Musang King Alliance. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
All right.
So
thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, bye guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. Welcome to Malaysia again.
Yeah, we'll come whenever the border opens.
Okay. See you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You felt uncomfortable